The following incident was just shared by a user on the website Reddit. My entire life has been spent in the state of California, which is also the location of my birth and childhood. Despite the fact that I had never heard of the city before mgtow, I chose to travel there anyhow. Because there had been one too many instances in which women had betrayed my confidence, and because I had become tired of picking up the pieces, I made the decision to devote myself completely to mgtow. I came across your essay, and I want to thank you for assisting me in making a decision. Through simply observing them, I've picked up a lot of knowledge about women. In point of fact, I was made aware of them as soon as I returned home from my trip to mgtow. The number of women who bothered to talk to me at work and in other places where no woman had bothered to do so previously considerably increased. This was particularly noticeable in settings where no woman had bothered to do so in the past. As a result, more and more guys are showing interest. When they first encountered it, they were completely perplexed by it, and when they attempted to explain it to me, they even stutter-stepped a little bit. However, the circumstances have developed in such a way that the roles have been reversed. They need to show me that they are worthy of my attention before I will pay attention to them, and I use my poker face to trick people into making mistakes and second-guessing themselves during this process. My sole experience in dating was with people in their 50s, but I'm happy to report that people in their 70s have also taken an interest in me. The fact that all of this has transpired merely demonstrates what a fool I am for squandering my time on insignificant women. I had anticipated that other people would criticize my new way of life, but up to this point, everything has been going wonderfully. In fact, several women have even been supportive of me. Personally, I don't enjoy going out on the weekends either, so I try to make the most of my spare time by going to the gym or curling up with a nice book instead of going out. My radical new way of living made me nervous that other people would criticize me harshly for my decision. It is really necessary for me to stress how valuable it is. In comparison to my married friends and to the time when I had girlfriends, I now have a significant increase in both my level of independence and the amount of free time I have. When you're with your girlfriends, you either talk or listen to each other complain about their problems for the majority of the time. Several of the males I know have shown an interest in shifting their attention away from women and onto other aspects of their lives. The more I explain mgtow to them, the more they begin to agree with me, and many of them come to understand that it is something that makes perfect sense to them. The more I explain mgtow to them, the more they begin to agree with me. When people in my circle of friends and family started asking me when I was going to find a partner, I knew it was time to get serious about the search for one. An alternate explanation for why I did not have a partner is as follows: I came to the conclusion that I was exhausted from looking for something better and that I should just give up and make peace with the life I had. So, basically, that's how my tale unfolds. I believe that it makes for an excellent case study of someone who elevated their own worth by demeaning the value of women. In my perspective, this serves as an excellent example. If you were to start paying even the slightest bit of attention to the 9s and 10s, it is almost certain that they would lose interest in you as soon as you did so. Unfortunately, this is how the female reproductive system works. However, a significant number of women have a difficult time coming to terms with the fact that some men will flat out reject them. It's true that anything like this doesn't take place very regularly. A sense of surprise is typical for a straight man when confronted with the unexpected occurrence of being rejected by a woman. It gives people a desire for things they are well aware they will never be able to have. Nearly all of the women who find themselves in this predicament also have tense ties with their fathers. It's possible that their father wasn't particularly involved in their lives, and as a result, they placed an excessive amount of importance on how they looked. Therefore, any time a man ignores her, it brings up sad memories of her childhood life for her. She has memories of being ignored, but these days, her thoughts and feelings are being taken into consideration more. They are looking for an explanation for the man's lack of interest in her and his icy treatment of her with desperation. When men act in such a dismissive manner toward women, it might bring on a full-blown crisis in the individual. They reason to themselves that if they aren't attractive enough for this man, other men probably won't find them attractive either. In addition to this, they will accuse you of being gay so that they may divert attention from their own shortcomings. Ignoring women is, in a nutshell, the surest way to destroy your cognitive abilities. In point of fact, women will stop at nothing in their efforts to dissuade men like him from spreading the erroneous notions they hold about women to the rest of the world. For instance, when men enter monk mode and start talking about issues that are related to the nature of women, the majority of women feel defensive and may even accuse men of being sexist. This happens when men are in monk mode. Their criticism derives from a genuine concern that men might come to harm if they chose to seek a life of joy without a companion. Despite the fact that they criticize guys for being loners, their criticism is motivated by this genuine concern. They are concerned that this will make it more difficult for guys to meet women of good quality. The women who sympathize with him and try to reassure him that his way of life is okay are wrong. They are, in all intents and purposes, endorsing him by the fact that they continue to support him in this manner. They want to encourage the possibility of a love relationship between him and a lady because he is so unapproachable at the moment that no attractive woman would ever develop romantic feelings for him. Therefore, they want to encourage the possibility of a love relationship. Her life is in jeopardy in every conceivable way. After being rejected in such a public manner by a straight male, which is her most powerful talent, she begins to doubt her ability to keep her feelings consistent and begins to question whether or not she is really capable of doing so. On the surface, it might appear like she is on the same page as you. However, the real reason she is acting this way is because a guy is ignoring her. As I mentioned before, the vast majority of the time they will also attempt to smear your reputation. If you tell them that you are becoming mgtow or that you are no longer interested in pursuing women, they will assume that you have contempt for women because it is evident to them that you dislike women. As a direct result of this, women are making concerted efforts to cut off communication with individuals like these in an effort to safeguard their reputations from the damage that could be caused by these guys. Because of this, people get quite angry when they catch other people using the term mgtow. You are free to use it wherever you like in the tank's description, but you should be aware that if you do so, YouTube will stop paying you for your videos. Women make up a large portion of YouTube's workforce. To put it another way, you can probably make an educated guess as to the kinds of rules that will be implemented if women are in power. Regarding the experiences of this particular reader, it is simple to see the kinds of rules and restrictions that would be implemented if women were in positions of authority. The reaction has been somewhat subdued due to the fact that he is not aggressively promoting his beliefs. According to them, he is an extroverted hermit who is unable to communicate his feelings or ideas to other guys and prefers to spend his time alone. What exactly am I pondering in this moment? It is highly likely that mgtow has been in existence ever since the beginning of time. It has developed to the point where it has its own ideology, not to mention language and acronyms, all thanks to the coordinated efforts of its believers, which have been broadcast via the internet. The majority of us women face our greatest challenges when it comes to organizing a movement in this day and age, when information and rumors travel at the speed of light due to the proliferation of the internet. Women have the most innate understanding of the power that gossip has to spread information and change the subject of discussion. They are aware that hostile rumors about them are significantly more destructive than the actual incident, because they lower the individual's position in society. In the past, they were able to coerce a guy into getting married, but after he did so, he retained his position as the head of his family. In today's society, a guy can be coerced into getting married, and then, after the wedding, the state can take his wife and children away from him. Men who are intelligent and successful eventually come to the realization that there are a number of rules and forces that operate against them. These people put in the greatest effort of anyone, which is why there is such a high demand for them. They are not so naive as to put everything on the line for a lady, thus they steer clear of doing things like that. They could be better served by focusing on advancing their careers in the fitness sector rather than trying to crack the top 20.